It's look. I eat beats, watch me dining, shining. I illuminate the rooms that I'm in, timing. Low-key ain't more crucial than alignment. That's why the flow is intertwined with both and I'm defiling every beat I'm on, even though I know it's wrong to treat rappers like a napkin after I pissed on commodes. Then I wipe what's on the toilet, can't decipher if you know that my life is tied to giving hoodlums life despite the hoes that their sights are fixed upon and give them pipe out of control. But the plight we abide in has almost wiped our frontal lobe of our heritage. Rare kids like me who grew up savage, they got embarrassed when they went to their partner crib and seen they mattress had a bed frame. Shout out to those who told me Tobit was a pet name. Tobit Yuku Dubemwikwe is my correct name. Praise God for follies of my colleagues that embody everything I overcame, blowing that ganji to suppress pain. Oh, but I was weak though, so on occasion purple haze would keep me warmer than a peacoat. Debo shouldn't be what you portray when you placebo, but now my flow the cheat code. Every bar is worth a kilo, ooh. Every bar is worth a kilo, ooh. Every bar is worth a kilo, ooh. Tobet Chuku Dubemwikwe is my correct name.
Yeah, look, hit the ground running like a halfback. Mad black, P365 in my knapsack. Blast that, all who tried to harm me, I don't scrap cats. I dropped 2 kids and I still snap back. Yeah, had to have these girls don't think my pen dead. Hard to sleep on me like a twin bed. Was broke, now I ball like a skinhead. You only get one shot, that's what Slim said. Only had one wish, worth the rage to vacate. Anything that gave way to poverty. You could tell I move with sovereignty. Obviously, I'm an anomaly. Every bar I speak a novelty. We don't ride the wave, we create it. This how we made it to Beyonce playlist. Toby used to have some open cases, but now we got a crib with open spaces. And I got a crib with open faces. Fuck on basic, been influenced by the city with the spaceships. Never going back to the gray ship or the spaceship. I'm about to be on the first name basis with Beyonce. Yeah, I'm about to be on the first name basis with Beyonce.
Went from boys to men, word to wine, yeah. Whole hood screaming, Toad, don't go Kanye. H-Time Texas with the flow, doing grind, yeah. One to the bubble quaggy on your head is what my mom say, yeah. Gorilla on the beat, I go Harambe. Yeah. Stacey Adams head to toe on my prom day. Yeah. 2 kids, life wilder than Deontay. Yeah. One dog trying to get a verse from Andre. Yeah. I done been with Mighty Ducks, but my baby mama swan, Aphrodite does. If it's an issue, pack a pistol, keep it tightly tucked. Cause they'll try to early dismiss you on your nightly run. Or your daily run. Either way, it's tragedy. Please don't try to take my life, that's a catastrophe. On my soul, ain't no hoe in my anatomy. And I put it on everything like Tony Sashery.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another day in the life of the No Bullish podcast. Another day above the ground. I'd like to salute everybody that is joining us. That obviously is in the dog world. Right now, we have a very, very, very special guest, Mr. Marcus Middleton. Mr. Marcus Middleton resides in Mississippi, if I'm correct, right? Correct. He first started with the American Pit Bull Terrier in 2015 in a registry called the CBR. Then went to the ABKC and the UKC and decided then he was just going to show in all 3 registries. His first show dog was named Trouble, and he champed her out in his first UKC show in Perry in 2015. In 2017, he finished the year as a top dog and the very first grand champion American Pit Bull Terrier in the ABKC, which meant more to him because he was told before he was going into the ABKC and she wouldn't be liked. That, she wouldn't even do good in the ABKC, but he kept his grind going on and he accomplished his goals and it made it more worth it, because I guess people told him he wasn't gonna make it, it was gonna be hard for him. So it made him just go harder. Some people in this earth, you can't tell no, you can't say, oh, you can't do that because even if it's gonna hurt them, that stove is hot, shit, I want to see, so some people just got to see for themselves. They're gonna try hard to accomplish the goal, whether it helps him or it hurts him. But Mr. Middleton, it definitely helped him. He's owned national title dogs, and he's produced the national best of breed dog. I was in the ring. I mean, not in the ring. I was on a sideline. I almost made that cut, but I was right there when I seen that pick made, man, and it was amazing just to see a brother reach that height, and one of my favorite dog handlers actually handling that dog. So, Mr. Middleton, I know I said a mouthful, man. Go ahead.
Let me correct. So,
yeah.
The one you saw, Ruger, that was the one that in the show. His son is the national breed winner over at GRC also.
Right.
Yeah,
okay. Okay, I'm sorry about that.
No. I just want to clarify.
Oh, no, that's cool, man. I'm glad. I'm here to be corrected, man. If I'm wrong, that's what I'm here for, man. So how's your day going, man? How's everything with you, brother?
Man, everything's good. Tired, working.
Thank you for taking this interview, man. I know you had a very long day. Can you tell us the first dog that you had? What breed it was?
The very first breed that I ever owned?
Yes, sir.
The very first breed I ever owned was a German Shepherd.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. German Shepherd. The next one was a Rottweiler, and then I want to say after that I've had a pit bull ever since. So from the time I was 9, 10 years old until now, I've owned a pit bull terrier.
Okay. So, let me see if this is him. I think this is the dog right here. Hold on. I'm so sorry, man. I'm setting up late.
No, we'll get it right.
I apologize, man. I'll get it set up, man. But so about the German Shepherd, what did you actually do with the dog? Was it just a pet? Was it a dog that you used for a certain task? What I wanted to go back. I'm sorry, I wanted to go back to the German Shepherd because those are dogs that usually experienced owners have, when they grab them. So could you tell us what you ventured into with the German Shepherd?
Bro, I was 8 years old.
Wow.
I just knew that I just always wanted a German Shepherd.
Okay.
So my dad ended up buying me a German Shepherd when I was like 8 years old. Didn't really know nothing about German Shepherd or the breed standards, the personality of them. I just knew that I liked the look of that dog. And at that time, German Shepherd and Rottweiler was very popular. It was one of those breeds. You had a German Shepherd, you had a Rottweiler, people were challenge.
Okay.
One of those breeds. So
the child with the purple tongue, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Those mean ass dogs.
Mean as hell. So me getting a German Shepherd was just because I was a kid who liked German Shepherd.
Okay. All right. Cool. So Ian, you said your next dog was a Rottweiler.
I got a Rottweiler.
How old were you then?
I think I was like 9 because I got my Rottweiler people at the same time. But it ended up dying apart. And that's when I started learning about Parvo when I was a young kid because my uncle taught me about Parvo.
Okay.
At that time, I kind of started learning about Parvo at a young age.
So at 9 years old, that had to be a very hard lesson, man. At 9 years old, having a pet, probably what, like you said, you wanted that dog, and that had to be a very heartbreaking situation to for that to happen, but a very educational, the learning situation as well.
It was more education than heartbreaking. The reason why I say that is because I only had the dog maybe 2 days.
Okay, all right.
So it wasn't really a whole lot of emotional attachment to it at that point.
Okay.
You know, so it was more learning for me about what father was. And my mom kept telling me, anytime you get a dog, take it, go get a father. That's all he screamed. You know, kind of gave me the breakdown of father.
Okay. All right. So your second dog was a Rottweiler. We're not even gonna count that as a pet. We're just gonna say, gonna say, you know, you a Rottweiler entered into your life very briefly.
Exactly.
So what is the next dog? Was the next dog a pit bull terrier?
After that, it's pit bull ever since.
Okay. So how old were you when you had your first pit bull terrier? 9 years old. Wow.
9 or 10.
So how old were you? I mean, okay. So man, I got to give it to you, brother, man. I mean, you started out with some dogs that you needed experience with. Obviously, you had somebody in your life, man, that because I heard you mention your uncle, you said your father and your mother at the same time. You know, us as Asiatics, we usually don't have all the parents or both parents in the house, you know, but we usually do have an uncle, you know, or something like that. It usually influences us with the dog. Yeah. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of us have that story where, you know, we have that uncle where, you know, that got, you know, some of us into the dog world or whatever. But you had a few people. So who was the influence in your life? Was it your father or your uncle for dogs?
To be honest.
Wow, that's what's up.
Because my dad bred those.
Oh, okay. So is this your father's brother?
No.
It's your mother's brother.
My mother's brother.
Okay, all right, cool.
So my dad bred those, and then my uncle on my mom's side, he bred pit bulls. But he bred the game style. It wasn't no UKC style or what I'm doing. I was just his backyard dogs on chain. You know, he still had papers to him and all that stuff, but they were just backyard bulls.
Right.
So at that point, you know, it was just like he was like, "You want a puppy?" I was like, "Yeah, you been a puppy." So ever since then, you know, I've been involved in American Big Terrier since then.
So did you know? Did he dabble in a certain bloodline? How did he go about picking his dog? Did you learn from him on that level at a young age how to pick a dog? You know what to look for and stuff like that.
I'm gonna be honest. No.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. No. It wasn't that type of experience. It wasn't the type of experience that I have now. It wasn't the learning that I have now that I you know would say that I got. You know, I got different type of mentors when I jumped over to the UKC style of that. It was very, very.
Somebody say you're echoing. I don't know if it's because of it's because do you have an earpiece?
No, I don't.
Hold on, let me see.
I do kind of echo. I wonder if my phone too loud. What about now? Am I echoing now? Am I echoing now? I can't hear you, bro.
All right, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm pretty sure the echoing would stop right now because what it was. I apologize. That was on my end. I apologize, everybody. My speakers I had it plugged up into my microphone, so you know you could hear the feedback. So that probably was causing you to echo. All right, go ahead. All right, cool. Everything sounds clear right now?
Yeah, on my end.
All right, awesome. All right, cool. That's what it was. All right, so where all right, so you didn't learn the structure and everything until later on down the line. Okay, so you're 9 years old. You got you've dabbled into probably the top 3 most powerfulest dogs, or I would say, I wouldn't say, yeah, I'm gonna say powerful, but most intimidating dogs that you would see, you know, just off rip, because nobody wants to deal with a Rottweiler. You know, our people don't want to deal with no goddamn German Shepherds.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? From the history. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to play with no German Shepherds. Exactly. And a Pit Bull Terrier is just like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, it's just like 10 times over when it comes to energy, when it comes to being a very agile dog, a more sporty dog. So did you realize that when you got the American Pit Bull Terrier, like, oh, hold up, I got something that kind of represents me? Did you feel like that? Okay.
That's honestly, that's why I still got him. That's why I still ain't switched over from him, because I love an active dog, because I'm active. Like, I like to go out and run and exercise. So I want a dog that I can go out there and do, you know, do the exact same thing with. You know, I don't, you know, what I always tell people, whenever you decide to get into dogs or get a dog, I always get a dog that fits your lifestyle. Like, since by me being an active person, I'm not gonna go out here and buy a basset hound or an English bulldog and, you know, expect me to go hiking and try to take my dog with me. The dog ain't able to keep up with me.
Right.
So I always tell people, if you're gonna get a dog with me. I have people ask me all the time, what's a good dog breed to get? And I always tell them, find a dog that fits your lifestyle.
That's the best advice to give anybody, man. I mean, because you know, that's the reason a lot of these dogs are in the pound right now, man. You know, is because people don't understand, aren't educated on the breed or the actual dog. Hold on, let me see. All right, Ben, that's way better. Okay. All right, or the actual dog. So, all right, so let's say let's skip to 15 years old, 16 years old. What are you doing? I know you're doing sports. I know you're athletic. You know, I know you. So were you still into the dogs during high school? How did that work out?
High school, I had a yard full of them in high school.
Okay.
Even playing sports, even running track, I still had 2 kids.
Okay. So when did you have the you said 2015 was when you decided to start showing them?
Yep, 2015 is when I first started showing them. So this is how, and everybody asks me the question, like, what got me into...
That's what I was about to ask. That's just what I was about to ask you.
So around 2014, I want to say, you know, for me, around 2014, that's when Facebook, social media started becoming, like, popular to me. So, you know, when you first get on social media, it's the people from, like, high school and stuff that reach out to you, you connect, you know, people you're cool with. So, you know, real good friend of mine in high school, grew up together and stuff. So he sent me a friend request. He had his profile picture. He had his Remy Martin grandson as his profile picture. So when I seen the dog, I was automatically, like, attracted to the dog. To be honest, I was attracted to the dog.
It's the American Bully, right?
Yeah. Oh. I was attracted to the dog. So my first question was, bro, what is that? Now, at that point, I've never in my life heard of an American Bully. This is 2014. I had never heard of an American Bully. So, you know, the first thing he said to me was, that's a pit bull. And I'm like, bro, I don't know what kind of pit bull that is, but that ain't no regular pit bull. Like, what is it? So he showed me the paperwork. It had American Pit Bull Terrier on it. Now, at that point, I didn't understand pedigrees. I didn't understand that part of it. I didn't understand that, you know, you had to do a whole breed transfer. So I'm looking at this dog like, I never in my life seen a pit bull like this. Because his paperwork said American Pit Bull Terrier. Because he never did a breed transfer, because he didn't know enough about it himself. So what I ended up doing, I started, like, Googling the bloodlines. So when I was Googling a Remy Martin bloodline, it directed me to Facebook. So when it directed me to Facebook, it popped up and I started seeing these dogs in these shows on Facebook. And I was like, crap, you can show these dogs. So I'm looking at these dogs, I'm like, okay, it's nice. So somebody was like, yeah, they probably be such a Pit Bull Terrier character. So at that time, I didn't have any show quality type Pit Bull Terrier. Like, at that point, I didn't even know breed standard, I didn't know breed structure, I didn't know any terms when it comes to show dog stuff in general. So I ended up seeing this dog on Facebook, which was Trouble, and I started talking to this young lady, and she was just like, I may want to sell her. So I ended up with like, okay. At that time, I had moved down to Georgia. But in the meantime, she was just like, I don't know if I want to sell her. So I was just like, well, if you decide to sell her, let me know. And at that time, Trouble was already 2.5 years old at that time. Outside dog, Anyway, she finally hit me up and she was like, I want to sell her. I was like, well, I'm finna drive to North Carolina and pick her up. Now, I'll be very honest because I don't sugarcoat nothing. When I got down there to see the dog, I drove from Georgia to North Carolina, about a 7-hour drive. When I got down there to see the dog, I'm gonna be honest, I was like, I'm not buying this shit. I'm gonna be honest. I looked right at it and I was like, I'm not buying this shit. Like, I'm gonna be honest, she looked horrible. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. She had heartworms. I know she had heartworms because I tested her the night right before I got ready to purchase her. I ended up realizing she had heartworms, so I was just like, I'm not gonna pay this amount of money for this dog. Really don't want to pay this amount of money for no dog in general. But I ended up buying the dog only because I felt sorry for her. So I ended up bringing her home, testing shit all in my place after I was told that the dog was house trained, crate trained, whatever. So shortly after that, I cleaned up, got on her feet, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see what this dog will do. And at that point, I was told, oh, don't take her to ABKC. ABKC, they're not going to like her. People going to laugh at you because at that time, ABKC was just used to those big American bullies. And I want to say 2015 was the first year that the ABKC introduced the American People with Terrier. I think 2015 was their first year because I think that was the first year because Tone took top dog that year with his Pit Bull Terrier. I don't know if people remember Tone having American Pit Bull Terrier, but Tone took top dog.
Yeah, with Snoop.
This
dog was yep.
So that's what got me into what I'm doing now is all because I seen that dog on my homeboy's profile picture. So seeing that dog on my homeboy's profile picture led me to what I'm doing now.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Cause I have a similar story. I seen a picture on Facebook, and I seen some people were like, we're going to this dog show, and I was like, dog show? What's this all about? And I was already getting an American Bully for a pet. So I really didn't know. We have a similar story, but I didn't get into dogs until 2015. Yeah. I didn't have my first dog was 2015. Oh, wow. So I learned a lot, from a person, like you. Even though you haven't been into the dog game a long time, you actually have more knowledge in your little pinky than a lot of people have in their whole brain, their whole, So I respect that. I think, and you're a straight shooter. That's why I really appreciate the relationship that we have, is because, I know I can ask you something. Anybody that's looking in the chat, we only have 19 people in here, but, this man, you ask this man a question, he's definitely gonna crack your skull, man, if it's not up to what he thinks it is, because he's gonna tell you, that dog shit. And you might not like what he says, but he's gonna give it to you. All right, go ahead, brother.
Yeah. I was just about to say, man. At the end of the day, I'm not just saying, oh, it's just a dog, but at the same time, we are just speaking on dogs. Like, ain't nobody asking about their family members, about their kids, about their wife, about their mama. We're speaking on dogs. So, ask me a question about what do I think is a dog. Guess what? I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. I don't care who you are. You be my best friend. I'm gonna be honest and straight with you, because guess what? A lot of people ask certain people certain questions because they know the type of answers that certain people gonna give them. They know their friends are gonna tell them what they want to hear. I'm not gonna tell you what you want to hear. I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear.
Yes, sir. That's definitely why I appreciate you, man, so much. I know it's no sugarcoating it. and I know, you care about the overall truth versus, somebody's feelings and how somebody's feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You just straight up down the middle, man, and I appreciate that. So let's go to nationals. 2000 and look at that smile on your face, man. let's go to let's go to 2019. I didn't see you there. Were you there? You wasn't there,
bro. I wasn't even at the show.
Okay, go ahead. Let's break down that whole day for us right there, man.
All right. So what happened was, Ruger almost didn't make it to the show because I had already set up one handler to take him because they wanted to go to the show. They didn't have a dog to take. At that point, I knew I could make it to the show because they're not puppies now, but at that time, my puppies were only 3-4 weeks old, and I wasn't about to leave them. Well, I want to say about maybe 2 or 3 days before the Nationals, the person decided, I don't know what the reason was, but they couldn't make it for whatever reason. I don't even remember what it was. So I was just like, well, I wasn't really bent out of shape about it because I never really had it wasn't a thought in my mind about winning nationals, especially not with American people with terrier, because we already get, a lot of slack. We're not a very dominant breed in the registry as it is. So, at that point, I was just still like, okay, I still kind of want him to go. So I ended up contacting Morgan Barrett. Contacted her, and I was like, look, can you take Ruger to national? And she told me, she said, I could take him. I already saved a spot for you anyway, which I thought was very funny. So she ended up picking him up that Friday night about 11:30 before national. That Friday night, she met me right here in Memphis. Picked him up.
Hold on, before you go further.
Okay.
Let me say this before. I feel like I'd be wrong if I didn't say this. Morgan is the top. I feel weird saying woman, but it is what it is. But I'm not even gonna put it like that. Morgan is one of the top dog handlers in the ABKC period in the world. This woman I've seen take dogs that she didn't even know, and I've seen her take aggressive dogs that she didn't even know and make that dog do what she wanted it to do in the show ring. So he didn't just get a handler. He got one of the top dog handlers in the ABKC. I just wanted to say that. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Even before National, me and Morgan had been cool for years anyway. So I'm trying to think where I left off. So anyway, she ended up saving me a spot. So I met her. We met right here in Memphis at the damn Popeye's Turkey Chicken, one of them. So she takes the dog Friday night. Never met this dog before. Didn't know who he was. But she knew who he was. She never met the dog. Never been around him. And she took him, and she went out there and won national. Now, when that happened, I was trying to watch it on. Live. I think I was watching on Spielberg Live. But as soon as they walked over and handed the reserve to Sampson, I'm just looking like, oh shit, who's gonna win? And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, either. I'm being honest. At that point, when I saw them hand it to Sampson in reserve, I'm thinking, okay, the shorty boy probably going to take this. It's a nice shorty boy. Don't get me wrong. So I'm just thinking to myself, okay, the shorty boy going to take this. I never thought a day that I would win a national, not with many people territory. So I'm like, okay, I think the shorty boy going to take this. So as soon as they put their hand over the ribbon, everybody started messaging and calling me. So I'm sitting there trying to I'm declining people's calls because I want to see who won. I want to see the reaction of whoever wins. So I'm declining people's calls, and I gotta get back on Facebook, log back in the Spielberg thing on his live and look. But at that point, I was just like, what the hell went on? Because by the time I got back on there, I just saw a ring full of people. But everybody kept calling me. So I'm just declining people because I want to see what the hell went on. But my homeboy Bobby called. But when Bobby called me, I answered the phone. Because I was like, okay, Bobby called me. Let me pick the phone up. It's my boy. When Bobby called me, the first thing he said to me was, bro, you just won fucking nationals. You just won fucking nationals. Because when he found out Ruger was going to nationals, he literally told me, he said, if Ruger going to nationals, Ruger winning nationals. So he made sure he let me know that he had already called it up the jump anyway. Nobody.
So that's what the call was. That's what the call was actually for. The call was I told you so.
Yeah, because that's how he is. He always fucked me. So after I got finished talking to Bob, I returned a few more people calls because people called me regarding. But then, man, it got to the point where it was like so overwhelming. Like it was very overwhelming. Like I want to say from the time him and Morgan won the Nationals until about 2 or 3 days later, like my messages, friend requests, Facebook phone calls didn't stop. I probably didn't sleep the whole day, maybe 2 days, because of everything that was going on, and then my anxiety was up. I was just so overwhelmed. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't want it to happen no time soon. I really don't. You know, it was a little negativity behind, a little bit of drama, which really I really didn't, you know, put too much in it. Really didn't address it. You know, it really wasn't a factor to me. You know, because everybody was like, "Oh, he's an Amstaff, he's an Amstaff, he's an Amstaff."
All right, okay, so that's what I was gonna say next, right? I know you know, so let's address it.
Yeah.
All right, so after you win nationals, because this I don't know one person since I've been into the American Bullies in the show world. I don't know one dog that's won nationals since 2015 that hasn't got any kind of negative or negative response or some kind of hate, you know, towards them. To be honest with you, I was very shocked that an American Pit Bull Terrier won, because we learned in the ABKC, correct me if I'm wrong, that the American Bully is king. Now, after that, it's usually like the French Bulldog. It's usually like the Shorty Bull.
Yep.
Behind that,
it's like an order.
Right, it definitely is an order, and I would say the Shorty Bull over the French Bulldog. Actually, to tell you the truth, I would say the American Bully. I would say the Shorty Bull, and then I would say the French Bulldog would come into play. So, but when I didn't really know you at the time at nationals, we really wasn't, you know, we really wasn't kicking it like that, man. But when I found out who you were, I was like, man, fucking Pit Bull, what fucking nationals, fuck that shit. So I was like, you know, I was happy for you, you know, and the circumstance behind it, you know, because I always like to see a brother win, man, at the end of the day, man. Not saying I pick one over the other, but you know, I'd rather see the best dog win, but you just happen to be a brother at the end of the day, man. That just was icing on top of the cake, man. And then the sister, you know, winning it too, man, was just like you know, a beautiful thing, and a person who I looked up to at Morgan as a handler, you know, because I actually look up to her, you know, because she just doesn't show in the ABKC. She shows in the AKC, she shows in the UKC, she shows in the ABKC, BRC, BBCR, you know, she's everywhere, you know. So I've learned from a lot of people, and a lot of these people don't know they're my mentors. See, a lot of people, like, you know, a lot of people told me the same thing that I tell you, man. You know, I learned a lot from you, man. You know, you sort of like my mentor. And it's because, you know, I'm not gonna ask you to be my mentor. I'm gonna let your actions, I'm gonna let your work ethic, I'm gonna let all of this stuff, you know, be my guide, you know, for what I need to do to be the best that I can be in this dog game, you know. And you actually do it, man. Your training and your how you work with these dogs, man, is second to none, man. You know, it's just, you know, sorry, Danny, that I took your little your little phrase, man. Second to none. I apologize, man, for your kennel.
You know what? I want to touch on a subject though, since you brought that up about.
Go ahead, brother.
About
and the floor is yours, man.
Like I feel like that's the biggest. That's the biggest thing I feel like the dog community in general, not just the bullet community, but the dog community in general is missing is mentors. Now you don't have to just have one mentor, because a lot of people think that they should just have one mentor. See, when I started in 2015, most people probably know her, but ABK suggests Rebecca Harris. She was my mentor. Like when it comes to like the American Pit Bull Terrier, because she comes big from UKC, the American Pit Bull Terriers. You know, grand champion, national winners, all this stuff. So she was my mentor. So when it comes to like breed standard, like teaching me about the American Pit Bull Terrier, she was hands down that mentor for me. Like who taught me about the structure, who gave me resources about the American Pit Bull Terrier. And I think that's what a lot of people missing is people being true mentors to them. People, you know, having somebody to teach them about something. Because at the end of the day, your mentor is your biggest asset of your program. Basically, they are. I consider a mentor as like your guideline of your program. Not saying that your program should be exactly what your mentor program should be, but your program in some way should reflect what your mentor program was, or what your mentor program is. You know, it's kind of like when I say like guidelines. So, for example, if you go out and buy a bag of dog food, and it says, okay, your 60-pound dog feed it 3.5 cups in the morning, 3.5 cups at night. So, over the next couple of days, or weeks, you're gonna look and see, okay, when I feed this, my dog gains too much weight, or my dog loses too much weight. All that bag of dog food is a guideline. It's not saying exactly what you should do. It's just a guideline of what you should do. So it's kind of the same as a mentor. Your mentor is that guideline of your program. They like your biggest asshole. And a lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people have too much power. They want to do their own thing or not give recognition to mentors. But like I said, I think the mentors is your biggest asset. I always say somebody who's your mentor, you know, I always make sure that you don't mind putting your name on your resume. That's who your mentor should be. Somebody you don't mind putting your name on your resume. Your mentor ain't just because Big Rico used to breed pit bulls back in the day and he can tell you a few things. That's not a mentor. A mentor is not somebody who can just say, you know, give you a little bit of information. Your mentor is somebody who's going to give you that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? It's different than telling somebody something versus somebody that's just giving you that hard knowledge.
Right. It's hard. And I say this to for how to gauge a good mentor. A good mentor is going to teach you how not to play like him, but how to play to your best ability, because the level that you're on and he's on or she's on could be two different levels, you know.
Yeah.
And you might need the training wheel dog before you need that show-stopping dog. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I say they're your guidelines to your future program. It's not necessarily saying this is stamped now. It's just guidelines on what your program is doing. So I had her for that. I had it with that to be able to teach me that stuff. You know, she gave me that knowledge, that breed standard. You know what I'm saying? She gave me that information. So another avenue of mentor that I have is another lady who's big in UKC, Amanda Stout. She owns Ruger's Sire. So, and the reason why I look at her as a mentor because, for example, if somebody calls me or messages me, or if I see a dog or you know, as far as like breeding to Ruger, whatever, she knows this line better than me. Like, this is the line she's worked with for probably 10 years. So whenever that situation comes up, I couldn't take her and be like, hey, what do you think about Ruger's? What do you think about this line to this dog line? And, you know, and sometimes people say, oh, the pedigrees don't matter, pairs don't matter, breed dog to dog. In some sense, you have to look at the pedigree. You have to look at the dogs to know what the outcome is going to be. Because when you look at the pedigree, you might see dogs in there that be like, oh, well, this dog passes off bad hearts. This dog passes off bad hips. This dog passes off this. This dog passes off that. You may not get this with this line. So whenever me and her talk about what lines to go with this line, it may be something she may be like, well, we tried that 3 or 4 times with this line, going to that line. It never worked. Or it might be another line that, she may, for example, she may be like, I don't know, it may work, it may not work. But at that point, if it's a may work or may not work, it's up to me whether or not I want to gamble with that side. I'm not going to gamble and waste the breeding on something that they've tried 3 or 4 times with this line. I'm not going to gamble and waste the breeding on it. It's just not going. I'm not going to do that because they've already tried it. Why would I try for the 4th, 5th time when it never worked before? Now, on the other hand, with this side of it, if it's one of those, it may work, it may not work. Never tried it. Guess what? It's up to me to gamble with that. That's why I'm saying, like, you can have different mentors for different lanes, for different avenues. It doesn't have to be just one particular person. Now, I'm not going to tell anybody to go out there and have 50 different mentors because you got 50 different people telling you things. You ain't gonna ever be able to have a straight plane because you're going this way. Bobby told you this.
Won't be no consistency at all.
Yeah,
won't be no consistency.
You're not gonna have that part at all. Definitely, you're definitely not. So I like I say, man, I try to teach the people all the time about getting mentors. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people fail with dogs because they don't have mentors. They don't have anybody to teach them. They're just going off what they see on Facebook and not knowing the whys to what's going on.
I seen this. Let's staying on mentors. This is a different, topic, but it's still about mentors.
Yeah.
I seen a post. I don't know if you've seen it. It was in this group, and it was this guy that he screenshotted a conversation that he had with Khan. And he was asking Khan for him to be his mentor.
Yeah.
So Khan was like, man, I ain't got no time to be your mentor. Like, I don't have no time. I can point you this way, or I can, show you the breed standards, or, he tried to help him out as best way he could.
Yeah.
This guy screenshotted it, put it in a group. Like, why? Like, why you even put it? Like, there's a lot of people in this game that you gonna look up to that doesn't have the time to be your mentor.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It don't sound like he came off like.
No, he didn't.
It sound like I don't have time.
I don't have time to do it. He got too much shit going on.
Yeah.
So, my advice to a lot of people that's new in the game is to watch people. Watch their actions. Let that mentor you. If you have any questions, you can ask somebody else that's been in the game for a long time and ask them, yo, why did they do this? Why did this person do this? And, they can, properly and give you the answer. Or you can ask, a few of the people that's been in the game and pinpoint the answer, and to the best way you can, man, because everybody doesn't have the time to sit here, and give you answers to questions. Me, I have all the time. I don't have all the time in the world, but I make time for people. You know what I'm saying? I make time for people. I'm not that busy in my life where, somebody asks me a question. I guess I put myself in a position in this dog game to where I'd be wrong if I didn't answer the question. Or left that person hanging for too long. So people like me, when you see people like me that's doing podcasts, that's doing stuff like that, if you see other people that's doing podcasts, reach out to them people because they're doing this for a reason. They're reaching out. They have this platform for a reason, and that's to reach out to people, and that's to educate. You know what I'm saying? So
you have to take the initiative to want it for yourself, though.
Exactly. You definitely do, because nobody wants to. This might sound a little harsh. Nobody wants to help a dummy. You know what I'm saying? No. Of course not to you. It doesn't. But nobody wants to help somebody that, one, that doesn't want to help themselves. Two, that doesn't want to drive. That doesn't have to drive. 3 that is dumb.
Yep.
That's just gonna go through one ear and out the other. That you're not gonna listen. They know that the information they give you just gonna do something opposite. You know what I hate too? I hate this, man. I hate when you tell somebody something that you're mentoring.
Yep.
It goes in one ear and out the other. Then they go to somebody that's hot. That says the same thing. They come back to you and say, "Yo, so and so said to do this," but you told them that months ago or weeks ago. I already told you that. Like, I told you that. You don't remember I told you that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, things like that happen, man. There's people like that in this game that they don't listen. You know what I'm saying? They might have to hear it somewhere else in order for it to stick. But yeah, man, this dog game, everybody needs a mentor. You need a lot of people to look up to be successful. Successful people. Not just anybody, successful people.
It has to be. Like, the thing about it is, like, I can't go to somebody who hasn't had success and ask them to be my mentor. Like, I don't feel like you can teach or tell me anything when you haven't been down a certain road before. That's why I always say your mentor should be somebody that you don't mind putting your name on their resume.
Right.
That's exactly why I say that. If a lot of people have mentors, these dog breeds wouldn't be the way to go. A lot of, it wouldn't be, when you look up on Facebook, somebody can put up a post, we have a breeder, post your males, post your studs.
I hate that, man. I hate that, man. I hate that.
At that point, you lose credibility as a quote unquote breeder from me, because you haven't studied anything. In order to become a breeder, your first thing has to be selective breeding. If you decide you want to do some breeding, your first step is to be selective breeding. That's first and foremost. You have to be selective breeding. You have to know why you breed this. You have to ask yourself, why am I pairing these two dogs together? What does this dog lack that this dog don't have? Like, why are you doing this? Like, what do I expect outcome when I match these dogs together? When you see those people that just post up, we have a breeder posted studs, you lose all credibility. You're not a breeder. You're just somebody who having puppies. You're trying to get financially stable off some dollars. That's all you are. You can't be considered as a breeder. People who, another way to lose credibility with me as a quote unquote breeder is if you sit there and say to me, I'm breeding for the community. Now, don't take this the wrong way now. The community should want what you want. But when you say you're breeding for the community, that means you're breeding what everybody's seeking after. That means you're breeding for that wild factor dog. You breeding for all this bone because that's what the community is seeking. So you're losing credibility when you say that, because at that point, guess what? You're not staying true to your own program, because you're too worried about trying to satisfy what the community has. Now, me personally, I never breed for the community. I breed for myself in hopes that people will want what I have. So it's a big difference. Like, I don't want to like get that confused when I say that you lose credibility when you breed for the community. Nobody should breed for the community. But
right.
At the same time, breeding the right dogs to the standard. The community should want what you want. I mean, should want what you breeding, not you breeding for the community. People who post up, "Oh, my dog throwing these colors, my dog throwing this." When you start to do all that kind of stuff, yes, you lose credibility as a quote unquote breeder, and to me, you are labeling somebody who just had a fucking preference. Right. Because at that time, it's nothing that you're doing that qualifies you as a breeder. Nothing that you're doing that is selective breeding at that point.
So you're saying basically there's an order. So you're saying, like, my dog has this pedigree, my dog has this immaculate pedigree, my dog has is a multi best in breed, best in show winner, and he's a producer, and he can throw this color. That's different.
Yeah.
When you talk like that, that's different. But when you start, I understand what you're saying. When you start throwing color as the main point and I don't care about titles when it comes to breeding. Like, I personally don't. I don't care if a dog is not a champion.
at that point, I'm looking at the dogs. Because thing is, if you dismiss every title away from all these dogs, a lot of these dogs wouldn't be bred because they don't have the titles.
Facts.
Now, I'm not saying that I'm not seeking out to get titles to be able to prove my dog in the show ring, because that's what I enjoy doing. I love being in the show ring with the dog. But at the end of the day, I don't care about the title. I don't care just because he's a grand champion, or is he a champion, or he's the most winning, best show dog ever in history. I don't care about that. I'm looking at the dog before I look at the title. And I'm looking at what I'm taking that dog to, because I'm more about selective breeding rather than a title breeder, or more about trying to satisfy the community.
You know what I'm about? This is my mission. And my fear as well. Somebody said hard to hear him. He's far away from the mic. He sound good to me. I don't know. Sounds good to me. You sound pretty. You sound good to me. But all right, so you sound good, man. You sound. I don't know if that might be on their end, but you sound perfect. I feel like I'm yelling. So one of my how I look at it is and one of my fears in this dog game is to be forgotten. So that's one of my drives, is to not be a dog that wins nationals and disappears after that and is forgotten. I mean, where my name is not known, or my legacy is only known for the ring. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's my fear, is that when I got shots fired, that my fear was that he couldn't produce, that he couldn't, because I had big shoes to fill when it, with this dog with Waffle House, and a good thing that, the person who owns Waffle House is my main mentor, who teaches me everything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm basically emulating everything he's doing, but I've laid the foundation that he's given me. I've laid that foundation down. So now I can build my house differently. My house doesn't have to look exactly the same as Tone's house. My house can have different levels to it. And so that's what I take from it is that I want to be a winner, and not just be a winner. I just want to leave a legacy that everybody remembers behind that. Now, I don't want to just win in the ring. I want to win outside the ring, where I have productions, where my productions is on point, where it's, that's what matters to me in this game. My legacy means more to me than what, just like you said, what the next person is doing, or what, who's pairing up these dogs. I have something to do that I wanted to be slightly different from everybody else. Because you can't be completely different in the American bully world when you have a standard and you have only this much wiggle room to bounce up and down from. And same thing with the pit bulls. I know it's probably even harder with the American pit bull terrier, because you have your foundation is set in stone right now as far as this breed standard.
Yeah, exactly. Very true. Yeah.
So I want to thank you for coming on, man. I know you've had a long day, man. I appreciate you, brother, man. Is there anything in closing that you want to say?
Man, the only thing I want to say is that I want to thank the people who were before me, who gave me the opportunity to do what I'm doing now, and also the people who have gotten purpose from me, who are also kicking ass with them right now. Nikki Lynn has one, Morgan Barrett has one, and I have a girl up in, where is she? Knoxville. She has one, but she mainly just be weight cool. She just kicks ass and weight cool with them. It goes back to, you have to, I made a post about this other day. You have to think like the people before you, to put, for you to be able to be in that position. And you also have to think of people who are putting your productions in a position that they're in, to help you solidify your program. Because you can have all these badass dogs and be sitting on somebody's couch and not doing anything with it. And it's not really doing anything or solidifying your program, because they sitting on the couch. Nobody's seeing them, nobody's doing it with them. So luckily for me, all my dogs have been put in the right hands with the right people to be able to, as I say, let my production shine.
How many champions and grand champions have you produced?
So right now, because I've only, which crazy, I've been doing this since 2015, and I just produced my first literally 2019.
Okay.
I got a champion that I have here with me now that I own. And Morgan's puppy he won National Best of Breed 2020 BRC, and he's also ABKC Grand. And then the one Nikki has is a champion in UKC, ABKC, and BRC.
So you got two produced dogs that's trifectas.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. That has to be a very.
Yeah.
I mean, do you ever step back and say, "Wow, man, I did this"?
You know what? Every time I walk in this room, man.
That's what's up.
Every time I walk in this room, it's a reminder. You know, because Trouble gave me my start in this dog game. You know, she's what, almost 9.5 now. You know, and she probably got maybe 8-9 titles on her. You know, from all the way back from RKC to ABKC, UKC, IABCA, you know, international title, top dog winner, first grand champion pit bull terrier in the ABKC. So she has plenty of titles. So, you know, a lot of people think that Ruger was my start, like when he won nationals. Ruger wasn't my start. It was Trouble for me. Trouble is what started for me. You know what I'm saying? You know, Ruger just, when him and Morgan went out there and won nationals in 2019, that just kind of put the icing on the cake for me and, you know, my future program. Because at this point, I'm still not considering myself a breeder yet. I'll consider myself a breeder once my program is flowing generation after generation and it's consistent. It's consistent with looks and it's consistent with winning. Not just because I'm having a bunch of damn puppies. I'm not going to consider myself a breeder until I get to that point.
All right.
Because like I say, anybody can have puppies. But that doesn't mean that you're a breeder. Even with the knowledge that I have from my mentors, I'm still not considering myself a breeder just yet. Until I do a couple more generations and solidify consistency with the look and solidify consistency with winning in the way.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry about that, man. I got some bad news today, man.
I'm sorry about that, bro.
Yeah, one of the dogs that I produced, that actually my kennel partners, Kelvin and Eugenia Marshall own, Gorilla Zoe, has passed away.
Oh wow.
Today, man. Champion Gorilla Zoe has passed away today, and
yeah, I'm gonna have to shoot out to him, man, because I know exactly who he is.
Yeah, and it was earlier today. I just looked at my phone and just seen. I wasn't gonna say anything on Facebook, because that was their that business to put out there, and and it's just heartbreaking. Yeah. That was one of the dogs that we were gonna keep.
Yeah.
And my wife was in love with that dog, and Eugenia and Kelvin approached me, and they seemed like very, very, very good people, man. And very energetic, man, and very motivated. And I was just like, hey, yeah, I'll sell you this dog, not just sell you this dog, man.
Yeah.
What about being Duval Bullies, man? What do you think about that? And then we made them part of the family, man. They've been part of the family. So everybody, if you can you reach out to Eugenia and Kelvin Marshall and give him your deepest condolences, man. It's R.I.P.
Morgan want to see her dog.
Okay.
Come on, buddy.
R.I.P. Mr. ABKC champion Gorilla Zoe. So this is one of your yeah, man. That's the one right there. That's Ruger, right?
No, this is his son. This is one Morgan owns.
Okay, all right.
I'm just keeping. I was keeping him while she went out of town before he could fly, but I've been holding on to him, but I may hold him for ransom.
That's a beautiful dog, man. Yeah. So let everybody know your social media feed, man. If you can you still accept friends on Facebook? Is that's what somebody said? Somebody said, are you able to accept more requests on Facebook?
Yes, I am. I'm able to accept more requests on Facebook. It's under Marcus Middleton. You'll know exactly what it is. It's a dog. My profile picture dog that looks like him. Not him, but it looks just like him.
Exactly like that dog right there.
Yep.
That's why I thought. I was like, yo, that's Ruger right there.
Everybody thinks it's Ruger. It's not him. It's his goof ass son. He's a good boy though.
Do you have an Instagram feed that you want to give everybody that you can?
Yeah, let me.
Yeah, go ahead. Take your time, brother. Yeah, there you go. I just said it, Jose. He got you right now.
So Instagram is Marcus_Middleton01.
Marcus_Middleton01 on Instagram. Y'all go check him out. Y'all go. Hold up. Let me put it right here.
All right, each number is up down.
Is the one underscore or is the one right after the Middleton?
It's Marcus_ and then Middleton01.
01.
Yep.
All right, there. I just put it inside the chat. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it up there. Hold on. Oh, he's saying that's for me. No, I can't accept no more friends on Facebook, man. I'm if I accept it anymore, they'll turn my Facebook page into a celebrity page or some kind of page where it's whack, man. It's like it's no interaction with the people that message you or comment. It's just weird, man. I don't like it, so I try to keep it under 4. I try to keep it like under 5,000. You know, I try to keep it 100 or 200 under 5,000. But send me a message. Send me a message on Facebook, and I'll accept you. But mass people, nah, I don't accept people. But my that's his Instagram, Mr. Marcus Middleton. Marcus_Middleton's.
It's probably easy to get me on Facebook though.
It's all right. So Marcus Middleton on Facebook is just Marcus Middleton, just how it is. Check him out on Facebook. This man, I think he might be the first pit bull terrier to win ABKC Nationals.
Correct.
So that's history right there. We're speaking to a man that has made actual history to be the first to do something with a dog at the biggest stage when it comes to showing in the ABKC. So I mean, that's like you're moonwalking on water, brother, man. That's all I can say, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we're gonna end it here, man. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking your time out your busy schedule to come do this for us, man. We really appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you having me on, man.
Hey, man, keep doing your thing, brother. Keep doing your thing, and thank you everybody for joining us. And we up out of here, man. Peace.
I appreciate it, bro.